All right, hi everybody. Thanks so much for coming today and listening to our presentation. So we are Team Sound Monitor, and our presentation is about countering noise pollutions in growing cities. So the problem we chose to tackle, the theme of this is sustainable cities, and noise pollution is actually an underappreciated health risk in cities, which more and more Americans, and really people across the world, are moving to. So about 65% of the US population right now is exposed to unhealthy noise, and that has proven side effects for both health, productivity, and families that are living in cities. So how can we help solve this problem so that this little baby doesn't need to cry anymore? So our solution is monitoring and having better control over the noise you're exposed to. And to do that, we built Endy. So meet Endy, you can see him in the front here. Endy is an environmental noise detector used personally, and he does several different things. So we're going to start our demo here, and Sarah's going to help me out while I keep blathering on.
Yo! Run.
So Endy has 3 LEDs and a microphone you can see there. He also has a rotator in. Is he running?
Is he going? Yeah, the rotator's not.
Oh, there we go. So when you're exposed to normal levels of noise, the green LED comes on. A sudden loud noise that's over the 100 decibel mark, which is OSHA's recommended safety standard, will turn on the red LED. We also have a measure for a cumulative noise, which is if you're exposed to more than about 120 TVs per day, a 24-hour period, that little blue light is going to come on. Now, for the purposes of our demo, we made that threshold pretty small, so the blue light should be coming on fairly soon. We also wrote an app.
No? No, I swear. You see the loud ones working. The red one shows that it's loud.
So we also built an app for Android or iPhone. This particular build is for Android, so you can actually track and chart how much noise you've been exposed to over, I think this period is about a minute or a minute and a half. And we hope to, when we expand this, do it for a full 24-hour period. One of the other future implementations we hope to have is calling in Strava and Fitbit APIs so that you can actually see noise exposure against things like sleep, heart rate, so you can actually see how things might be affecting your health in real time and notice patterns over time for either places to avoid or maybe sounds to avoid. Has Endy's little blue light come on?
Nope. That's weird. Everybody scream! Clearly we aren't rowdy enough.
That's definitely the problem.
No.
Well, any questions while we're playing with him?
Do you need to be let in? Oh.
Can you tell me a little bit about your software? What were you guys writing in? Obviously, JavaScript.
Sure. Eva, can I hand it over to you to talk a little bit about that?
It's going. It's going?
All right. Yeah, so we wrote in, obviously using Node.js, pretty much what was provided with that. Got some Node.js, the companion app has some jQuery. The graph is being made using a very, very basic implementation of D3. Yeah, just pretty simple stuff.
Okay, and so did you tie anything back to, like, Internet of Things? So have you tied anything today back into internet sources?
Well, our kind of the future goal there is
Okay.
to connect it to that Strava implementation. So if you have a Fitbit, I think Sarah was working on that, if you want to talk about it a little bit.
Oh, sure. So people who use wearables can monitor their heart rate with Strava. Connecting to their API is a little annoying. Didn't get that going, but because with OAuth 2, I'm new to stuff. Anyway, so what we would do is first graph the heart rate and correlate it to the amount of noise that you've heard throughout the day, like decibel levels, and be able to check out if you're affected adversely.
Okay, so the usability aspect right now is pretty much the mobile interface where it would graph, and then you have LEDs, you'll have some sort of additional motion sort of sensor. And what was the button for that you're,
This is the microphone.
Okay, so
I'm
that's just a
tapping it
microphone.
to
Okay, got
make a noise.
okay. Alright, cool. You guys have any other questions?
Can you tell me like what the ideal user's experience? Like, is this like the device going to be in a place, or is it going to be a wearable ideally?
The idea was to be
You guys
aware.
still have 30 seconds left.
The idea was to be a wearable. As you can see, Envy's pretty large. You're not going to want to wear them right now. But ideally, if we could have a wearable about Garmin or Fitbit sized here, that's really what we'd like to be able to do.
And this motor is to represent a vibration sensor. So you don't have to look at the lights to get this feedback, that you would get different vibration patterns to say that it's working. If the noise is too loud, your daily exposure is too long.
Once you have the feedback, what do you do? What's the recommendation? Do you tell the user to plug in some noise canceling headphones or
Reduce the sound exposure. So
You just-
move somewhere quieter.
So that's actually one thing we wanted to do by tracking trends. So ideally, we'd be able to use GPS calls as well. So you could say, you know what, historically, this place has been really loud. Historically, this place has been really quiet. You've been hitting your cumulative a lot when you go here, so you might want to think about intentionally either going back home or going to these quiet places that we learned you like to go to.
The interface today, what is the trend?
Time, we're
Yeah,
out, yeah.
alright.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.